Hi, this is Sean Stanley. I'm here today with Andy Kellogg, Treasurer of SunCoke Energy. Andy, tell us a little bit about SunCoke Energy's business.
Sure, Sean. SunCoke Energy has two primary businesses. One, we have a coke making operation. We are the largest independent producer of metallurgical coke in the United States. We have 5 facilities in the U.S. and we have 2 internationals, both in India and Brazil. Metallurgical coke is essentially taking raw metallurgical coal, you heat it for 48 hours at 2,000 degrees and it burns off all the impurities and it produces a pure carbon substance called coke. And coke is the main ingredient that goes into blast furnace steel. It's the heat source and also the structure. When you couple coke with lime and iron ore, it produces raw steel. So we produce about 5 million tons of coke a year. It makes up about 35% of the market here in the US. The second business we have is we have a terminal business. We essentially take coal and other products such as pet coke, aggregates, different types of materials, and we load it onto vessels and move that through both the US and internationally. Our international business, we handle about 10 million tons of coal that comes from the Illinois basin, and we send that over to Europe and into Asia as well. The domestic business, we move both thermal and metallurgical coals for power plants and also our own facilities. From a size perspective, we're about $250 million of EBITDA. We have 2 public companies, but combined market cap's about $2 billion.
Great. In terms of accounting, what types of internal controls do you have in place to help prevent against error or fraud?
Well, Sean, we have both preventative and detective controls, and really across our entire organization. So, for example, we have segregation of duties. We've got system access controls, who can access certain parts of our business. We have approval controls, so whenever there's an invoice, who can actually approve that invoice and at what levels. That matters based on a delegation of authority, where there's different levels based on your job description. So, someone more junior has a certain DOA versus someone more senior can approve higher invoices.
Perfect. As a treasurer, what policies do you have in place to control cash receipts?
Yeah, so we've got a lot, of course, being a public company. I think probably the most primary one is actually when we move money out from internal to an external vendor. That has to be approved through the DOA matrix, which has its own sets of controls. And then in terms of actually releasing the payments, we have a dual authorization. So what that means is essentially somebody has to input a wire and somebody else has to approve a wire. So you're not having the same person both input a wire and approve it. Obviously there could be some fraud, with that. I would say with our controls in general, they're regularly tested both by internal and external auditors, and the external auditors, sign off that our controls are in good standing.
Perfect. So SunCoke Energy owns a large number of plant, property, and equipment assets. Of the 3 types of depreciation methods used in accounting, straight line, units of production, declining balance, which one does your team follow? And why is this method chosen over the other 2?
We use straight line depreciation here, and the rationale is it's the most common and practical for our business. There's nothing unique about our business that we need to use one of the other forms of depreciation. I'd say the only thing that varies, but it's consistent with every other company, is the length of the depreciation matters based on the type of assets that you have. So, buildings get depreciated longer than, inventory.
Perfect. Andy, thanks for taking the time to speak with us today and learn a little more about accounting practices at SunCoke Energy.
Thank you.